I would like to issue an apology. Yeah, an apology. I don't give them a lot, but when I need to apologize, I will. Kevin, when I said you were the worst, I take it back. Yeah, sorry about that, sir. Darian. The words I could use right now. I have a lot, but I will refrain. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing The Circle Season 7 episodes 7 and 8. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. So we pick up where the last episode left off, and it is Andy who was blocked from The Circle.
I just don't know what happened. I don't know what I did.
Me and Rachel were the disruptors, and we had to switch profiles. That was not me. That was not me. That was Rachel.
Why I'm sitting here, it has something to do with Gianna. I really want you to take this all the way. I really do. I'm gonna cry.
I'm gonna cry. I'm literally gonna cry. Oh my God, I feel really, really bad.
So Rachel and Madeline were told not to share their secret about the disruptor thing. But I guess since Andy is leaving the is telling him / Heather it's not going to be a big deal. Ultimately, Andy didn't insulate himself enough. He just thought, oh, ride with the bros, and it is what it is. But even with that whole bros alliance, there was a conversation where Andy was like, hey, bros, we stick together, whatever. But after that, I feel like Kevin was at the forefront of this guys thing. And then Andy put his effort in Madeline, not knowing that Madeline was going to turn on him. So that's wild. He's now talking to Madeline being like, oh, that damn Gianna, it's gotta be her fault. And it's like, tough one. So Madeline is there struggling to keep the secret of the fact that she's the one who turned on Andy / Heather. And Heather leaves without knowing the truth. And it's now starting to hit Madeline like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad because Heather truly had my back. Listen, game is the game. It can be hard. I totally understand that. But Madeline did what she had to do to elevate herself in the game. And I do think it was still a good decision. A hard one, but a good decision nonetheless. So after Heather is dumped, she gives her a little message in the circle. She didn't really drop any tea. Even if she thought the reason why she's leaving is because of Gianna, she didn't say anything negative about Gianna. But because she left things so ambiguous, this allowed Madeline to sow some seeds of doubt regarding other players in the circle chat.
You met Heather?
Any tea you could spill?
It could be a good strategic move to make something up.
Maybe Madeline is like trying to figure out who to get out or place doubt in other players' minds. I didn't think Andy had that many alliances, so who does that leave to be disloyal?
The only person we know Andy was close with is Kevin.
Oh, shit. She definitely just hinted that it was Kevin. Yeah, I'm curious too, because I talked to Andy on his last breath right before the blocking.
Ew, Darian. Darian is kind of alluding in his message that I'm making everything up.
Damn.
Darian and Madeline don't like each other at all.
If everybody in the circle understands we are here to play a game, I feel like a lot of things are fair. Now, don't do something like the guy from Survivor years ago who was like, yeah, my grandmother on her dying bed, whatever, just for them to find out at the reunion she is alive and well. Don't do something like that, but do what you have to do to push yourself further in the game. I rate it. Immediately, Jadacia's like, this feels like a lie. Don't know how I feel about this, but she indulges Madeline's poking and prodding anyways. So initially people were suspecting that Kevin was the one who had turned on Andy, but Madeline is pointing people in Darian's direction, not explicitly saying Darian, but is like, well, if it's not Kevin, who else could it be? Now, I was happy this happened initially. It ends up going tits up. But initially, I liked it because I feel like Darian is the only person so far who's not necessarily playing the game. He's kind of here for vibes. So I was hoping this would light a fire under him. And it did. He didn't play it the best way, but at least he started playing the game. Kevin, being the flip-flopper that he is, has no loyalties to anybody. So now that there's a witch hunt for Darian, he's all for it.
I gotta ask.
Who are you referring to in this morning's circle chat?
I was referring to Darian. Oh, snap!
Andy told me that Darian planned on ranking you towards the bottom.
We can't let Darian get away with this.
What's the plan?
Someone in my comments said that Kevin is the type of person to pledge allegiance to whoever is the last person to speak to him. Facts. So true. Because at this point, yeah, he had a connection with Madeline, but I didn't think it was anything to fully believe whatever she's selling you. Like, he just took her word as bond and moved on, like didn't ever question her or anything. And I'm just like, huh? So if Darian would have come to him first, like he wouldn't have done some more investigative work, like he would have just gone with it. I don't know. Kevin, come on, Kevin. Anyways, it was my viewing pleasure to see arguably one of the best players in the game so far, Madeline, talk to arguably one of the worst players so far, Kevin, and just seeing how this conversation solidified them both in those positions for me. So whatever Madeline was saying was just proving how good of a player she is. And whatever Kevin was saying was proving how bad of a player he was. And it was just such a great conversation to see. Oh, this season of The Circle, honestly, I was doubting you at the beginning, but it's pretty good. Since Darian doesn't really have an alliance of his own, Jadeja decides to take matters into her own hand and build a group chat with herself, Darian, Garrett, and Gianna.
Shots were thrown and I had to make sure none of y'all felt hit. How is everyone feeling? Thank you, Jadeja, heart emoji, for seeing past her antics. Aww.
Darian, I was right there with you.
Do you think she stirred the pot because she lost her number one?
I don't think that was the best move for Madeline. I just want y'all to know that I don't question your loyalty.
Red heart emoji, Jadeja. Yes.
There's no world where we would take her over these three.
No shot.
It can't happen.
Loyalty is not a question with you all.
Hashtag got your backs. That's all I needed.
Jadeja is just that girl. Okay, this girl is so genuine that up until this episode, I haven't heard anybody say anything negative about her because there's nothing negative to say. Like, she's just so, oh, I don't even have words. Like, you just look at Jadeja and you're just like, oh, yeah. Especially after she shared her story about her past and stuff, you can't help but love the girl. So she's now in a situation where she has to insulate Darian because he doesn't have anybody protecting him. And she chooses the allies that she already has to corral around him and be like, oh, this is my man and y'all are my girls. So do right by me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I said girls, but Garrett is in there. Y'all are my people. So do right by me. At the end of this season, Darian, I need you to take Jadeja on an all expenses paid vacation because she is single-handedly carrying your game. She's playing your game better than you are. Okay? If you end up winning by some weird miracle, give the money to her. Because, without Jadeja, where would Darian be right now? The Circle announces the apocalypse, which leads to an immediate rating. Then they get to activate disruptor mode, which reminds me, nobody remembers that a disruptor mode was activated not too long ago and that 2 people would be picked. Like, nobody's brought it up. Hello? Okay. Anyways, everyone but Gianna wanted to disrupt. But ultimately, it was Darian who got the disruptor mode. So his power is that he gets to pick the second influencer. The first influencer is by popular vote. The second one is by Darian's vote. So the ratings are 8th place is Darian. Now, this is the part that confused me because the Circle didn't explicitly say Darian couldn't pick himself as the influencer. So I wouldn't have been, the way that Darian was chill, I was thinking he could pick himself. Anyways, it's just a whole mess when it comes to Darian. 8th is Darian. 7th is Tiara. 6th is Madeline. 5th is Kevin. Joint 3rd is Garrett and Jadeja. 2nd is Rachel. And 1st is Gianna. So they have a circle chat the next day, and this is where Madeline really draws the line in the sand and says Darian is not to be trusted.
Madeline, you mentioned people not being trustworthy, and I must say, the ratings are speaking to that.
I think being rated last speaks for itself. Oh, Madeline.
Oh, man, bro. Nah, I don't like that. Darian is very trustworthy.
I think it's time people know, like, to stop coming for me.
Hashtag give it a break. Love it,
Love it, Jadeja.
You're backing up your man.
Madeline is being messy. Me and Andy had a connection. Just shows you that she's playing a dirty game. Hashtag can't be trusted. Hashtag fake as fuck.
Glad to see you finally, in all caps, showing some personality. Laughing, crying emoji.
Rachel says she doesn't forget, which is why she threw shade at Darian, because he threw shade at her earlier in the season. But I'm here just like, do you forget that you're supposed to be in an alliance with Jadeja and Gianna? Here you are, making it clear that you are coming for Jadeja's #1 person. But you know what? It's Rachel. Rachel did not have a problem going against Kevin when everybody in the chat was clearly supporting Kevin. So you know what? This is Rachel's MO. I shouldn't be surprised. Kevin was able to redeem himself after that whole witch hunt, which was set up by Rachel. So Darian has an opportunity to come back after this whole situation, right? Darian notices that Kevin is suspiciously silent in this conversation. He's like, when people were coming for you, I had your back, but now people are coming for me and you don't have my back. So what does he do? He has a conversation with Kevin.
I already know how this dude Darian moves. I gotta be so careful.
I was 100% loyal to the bros, period. Do you believe him?
I want Darian to feel like things are all good.
How can we get her out of this game, and who can help us? Question mark.
I'm just telling Darian what he wants to hear right now.
This all has to be part of Madeline's master plan. Okay, exactly.
This is where I just looked at Darian and I just sighed. I had no words. I just... Like, I'm so frustrated with Darian. I understand that Kevin is feeding him sweet nothings. He's telling him everything he wants to hear. But when Kevin should have spoke up, he didn't. So regardless of what he's saying right now, when he should have spoken up where it mattered most, he kept silent. That's what you should focus on. And even if this whole guys thing was something you believed in at the beginning, after Savannah was blocked, when has Kevin ever nurtured a relationship with Darian? It might have been cut out from the edit, likely was. But, bruh. Oh my gosh, the way I was so annoyed with Darian. Your #1 is Jadeja. Jadeja's #1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s are all rooting for you. Why are you bothering yourself with Kevin, who has made it clear in the chat he will not step up to your defense? Well, y'all said I was going to be annoyed with Darian, and y'all did not lie. Let's move on, because he was making me so mad. So they create portraits about each other. I'm just going to go through them quickly. Tiara said Gianna has the greatest heart. Rachel said Jadeja is the greatest Darian defender. Garrett said Rachel is the greatest man-eater. Darian said that Tiara is the greatest instigator. Madeline said that Garrett is the greatest follower. Gianna says Kevin has the greatest perm. Jadeja says Madeline is the greatest fake friend. And Kevin says that Darian is the greatest backstabber. So, Jadeja being the Darian defender that she is, decides that it is beneficial to have a conversation with Madeline so they can clear the air.
I know we haven't had the best impressions of each other, and I wanted to get to the bottom of it.
Her message was a lot nicer than I thought it was gonna be. I never expected it to become hashtag Team Madeline or hashtag Team Darian.
All my life, I grew up around arguing and violence, and I know what it feels like to have no one come to your rescue.
Well, I feel like the wicked bitch of the West. Looking back, I know I should have messaged Darian privately and given him a chance to explain himself.
Hashtag fresh start and waving the white flag emoji.
Aww, Jadeja.
Jadeja again pulling the sympathy card. Now I'm not even saying she's pulling the sympathy card as if she's being manipulative. I think she's actually being genuine. But even if she wasn't being genuine, this is a great play. I'm sorry, it is. Oftentimes, people don't want to cut the person who they have a sweet spot for in their heart. If they feel like the money could help this person's story, or if they feel like, oh, but I have such fond feelings for this person, they're unlikely going to eliminate them unless they're absolutely cold-hearted or they are just a gamer through and through. They're going to keep the people who they have empathy for. And Jadeja is just knocking it out the park. Like, this is what Savannah's gameplay should have been. She just didn't implement it enough. She should have had that sympathy card with more people. She should have played it with more people. Jadeja's doing just that. Whether it's on purpose or not, it's good gameplay. Her partner has horrible gameplay. Because Darian, as we know, is given the opportunity to name an influencer. He just solidified his ties with Gianna, so Gianna being in the influencer chat is not a knock for him. But he is actually sitting here contemplating if he should put Kevin or Jadeja in that second influencer spot. I don't even understand how this is a conversation. How is this a thought process? Why is this crossing your mind? Why are you conflicted? He's out here like this is such a hard decision. It's really not. It's really not. Regardless of if he genuinely didn't know where Kevin stood, you know for a fact where Jadeja stands with you. You will always be her number one. She has proven it time and time again. They called her the Darren defender in the game because if there's one thing about Jadeja, she's gonna have your back. But what does this man do? This, forgot this is a public crowd. This man puts Kevin in the influencer spot. And it might be to his demise, seeing how this influencer chat goes.
Karen and Tiara are both off the table. Who do you think you are?
I need to get rid of this sneaky guy, Darian.
How do we see Darian as a threat? He was literally just rated last.
Right now, let's have them stay and focus on Garrett and Tiara.
He's been, all caps, trying to block you. Perhaps a little fib or white lie at the end there.
He's trying to block you and block us. Out of nowhere, he's trying to block us.
He's lying.
I'm actually speechless. This is rough. This was a rough watch for me. Everything is topsy-turvy. At the beginning of the season, I wasn't really rooting for the twins, but now look at the twins. Clocking the game, clocking it. They're playing a good game. I gotta give it to them. They're playing a good game. I don't know who Kevin thinks he is, coming into the winner's circle, thinking he could just call the shots because he was chosen by the disruptor. I'm sorry. Popular vote went to Gianna. I hope Gianna pulls a Corey Tyler and is just like, well, I got the highest vote, so only my vote matters. I hope so. Because Kevin came in like, this person, they're all off the table, so who are you sacrificing? Absolutely not. Oh, Lord. Darian, this is your fault. Darian, this is all your fault. This is all your fault. You put Kevin, I can't. I'm done. Anyways, y'all, I'm so frustrated that we gotta wait 5 more days. I think it's 5. I haven't counted. for the finale because I need to know how this vote panned out. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think Kevin was successful in getting Darian out? Because ain't no way. It only makes sense for Tiara to go. I'm so sorry. Like, if Tiara doesn't go, I mean, I don't want to see her go, but like, you can go. We'll see. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.